As we have seen, the Miller-Urey test tube experiment required the input of an electrical charge to form the simple molecules that are the basis of life as we know it on Earth. The scientific explanation relies on atmospheric lightning or some other natural form of electrical discharge in the primordial environment. Although the Casey readings do not explicitly discuss any life-giving electrical discharge at the beginning of life on Earth, they do consistently maintain that electrical energy is the basis of all life. The readings assert that the force in nature that we call electricity is God in action. Thus, the very essence of life itself is the creative force, or God, manifesting as a low electrical vibration. One can easily imagine that as the divine organized the molecules that are the building blocks of life, that the creative energy called God flowed through the chemicals. The readings describe the process of cellular division and reproduction, which scientists regard as the signpost of life, as taking place because of an electrical charge around the membrane of the cell. This is the low form of electrical vibration that is synonymous with God in a material world. The readings' use of the words gradual and gradually when discussing the biological evolution of life on Earth and the spiritual evolution of souls back to the source probably has something to do with the concept of patience as a fundamental dimension of human experience. We can't rush evolution. It has its own tempo and rhythm. With regard to the age of the Earth, the readings do not provide any specific numbers. At least 2 readings that discuss the activities of humanoid inhabitants mention the 10 million year range. A chemical engineer seeking vocational counsel about a possible career change to archaeology was told by Casey that his technical expertise and inclinations were such that he could open an egg that had been buried for 5 to 10 million years and determine the diet of the fowl or animal that had laid it. Clearly, the readings do not support the literal 6 days of creation for the planet and its life forms, as endorsed by fundamentalist creationists who insist upon a rigid interpretation of the Bible. In a later section, we will explore the evolving scientific debate between theorists espousing gradual evolution of the Earth and its life forms, or uniformitarianism, and the prominent role of sudden cataclysmic upheavals, sometimes called catastrophism. Casey's view on the pace of evolution is similar to the punctuated equilibrium model of evolutionary biologist Stephen Gould. Extremely long periods of gradual change and adaptation are punctuated by brief and violent Earth changes leading to mass extinctions and a reshuffling of the evolutionary deck, as it were. In the waters of the slowly cooling Earth, simple bacteria-like cells evolved into algae and protozoa, and ultimately into complex multicellular forms such as fungi, land plants, worms, mollusks, crustaceans, insects, and vertebrates. Beyond noting that animals dominated the Earth prior to the arrival of humanoid creatures, Edgar Casey provided very little specific information about the evolution of complex life forms on Earth, other than that the process required millions of years and that other animals were here before humans. Keep in mind that Casey's psychic process relied substantially on the questions by seekers who drew the information through him. Apparently, there was little interest in pre-human life on Earth amongst those who sought his psychic readings. While acknowledging the various ages of evolution, the Casey readings observed that a geological survey demonstrates that in the evolution of the Earth, each of the various kingdoms, mineral, plant, and animal, has held sway over millions of years of adaptation. Perhaps the millions of years of time and extensive diversity of evolving life forms were required to produce the world that we see today, with human beings at the top of the evolutionary food chain. Or maybe the evolution of complex life forms on Earth never required humans as the end point in the evolutionary process. This is the current scientific model. Humans are merely the latest in a series of evolutionary natural experiments. It is just a matter of time before we go the way of the dinosaurs and are replaced by some other, better adapted species. The Casey readings acknowledge that the potential for the evolution of the human species was always present in the evolutionary process within the divine mind, but not more than that. For example, it is difficult to imagine how the millions of years that dinosaurs dominated the Earth could have contributed significantly to human evolution. Keep in mind that the reason for creation was companionship and expression. The creation and evolution of the physical universe and its diverse life forms was a co-creative process of creative expression. The necessity for evolving humanoid creatures was essentially an afterthought, an emergency retrofit to accommodate some adventurous souls who became entangled in animal flesh bodies. We will take up this theme in Casey's cosmology in the next section on human origins.